really care about dark skies, what do we focus on? Our local town boards, or what do we focus on?
What I would suggest, I've suggested to many people, what I would suggest you focus on is find a building in your community, ideally a public building, but any building you have an influence over. If you're a member of a church and you have an ability to influence what that church does, or if you're on a village board and you can influence we've done it with fire stations, we've done it with sewer plants, anything you can find, get that building changed to be best practice lighting. Use zero uplight fixtures, use much warmer color temperatures, add controls so that it's only on at the right level when it needs to be. Pick that building and then invite people to come and see it in person. That is the number one thing you can do, because my experience has been so far all positive.
Perfect.
But they need an example to follow, not just talking about it like we're talking about. Let's see an example in person. So if we could spread as many examples as possible all over the state, that'd be the best thing they could possibly do.
So doing it with that one building is darker at night, and then that spreads to other buildings, and then entire neighborhoods and towns, and that's how we get it done. Yeah, good.
And if you do one building like that, then maybe the next step, in addition to promoting it and making sure you continue to bring people there, right? That's what we're doing here. We continue to bring people into the Kickapoo Valley, into Lafarge, and we had an NRF trip in May, field trip in May. We're doing another one in September, bringing people to the Kickapoo Valley Reserve and to Lafarge, and we have a presentation, but we walk them through the lighting that's there. We do out and do a dark hike on the Kickapoo Valley Reserve with no lights. But the second step, I think, locally would be then, once you've done that and you start to see people buying into this idea, then start talking to your municipal officials about, hey, let's see what our existing policies and ordinances say about outdoor lighting. Because likely there are some. And what I've discovered is that many that were intended to reduce light trespass and reduce public nuisance are still grossly overlighting spaces if you follow them, and most of them aren't enforced. But that would be the next step then, to say, how can we create a policy or an ordinance for our community that will start to turn the tide on future developments before they get really bad stuff installed that we have to change, which are going to last for 20 years probably. These new fixtures can easily last 20 years. That'd be the next step, I think.
Okay, great.
Hi, this is Linda Frank. I'm a member of the Wisconsin chapter Lands team. I'm bringing you a dark skies success story from the village of Shorewood, located in the North Shore area of Milwaukee County. Joining me here is Chuck Hagner, a fellow Shorewood resident and author of the American Birding Association Field Guide to Birds of Wisconsin. We are in my neighborhood where the street lights are an antiquated version from the 1970s with old light poles and fixtures behind us. A few years ago, the village of Shorewood, like many other municipalities, was looking at streetlight replacement with LEDs to gain energy efficiency and save costs. But Chuck, you thought that the village could do better than that too.
That's right. And I wasn't alone. I worked with the other members of the Village of Shorewood Volunteer Conservation Committee to advise the village about just exactly what type of LED lights we would want in our village. We knew that high-intensity LED lights, especially unshielded lights, have a lot of bad effects on not only humans, but also birds and insects and other wildlife. So we had an opportunity here in the Village of Shorewood to avoid all those negative costs and to create some street lighting that worked for everybody, was safe, and didn't have those detrimental effects.
We're in a neighborhood now where the street light replacement has been completed. You can see the new street lights behind us. Chuck, can you tell us about the design of this new street light?
Sure. The new street light looks a lot like the old ones in its overall shape, and that was deliberate because I think a lot of people really found the old lights to be charming in their aspect. And this preserves the quality that they had previously. But there's some big differences. The light element, as you can see, is now at the very top of the fixture so that the light that it sheds can only go downward. And this is of huge importance to migrating birds and all birds that might fly overhead. And more importantly, the correlated color temperature of the light that comes out of there is 2700 Kelvin. That's kind of geek speak for a color of light that is not so white as to be jarring, and any whiter light would cause a disturbance to sleep and all the other ill effects that I mentioned at our other location. So these are very bird friendly, they're insect friendly, they're sleeper friendly, and they still do a good job of illuminating the sidewalk and the roads for us dog walkers.
All right.
And I've had public works people tell me, I've had city administrators tell me, people tell me they want dark sky lighting, but nobody brings me solutions, right? What's the solution? And so that's what we try to do, is try and educate people about what the solutions are. And some of them are really simple. Some of them are just buying a shield that's available from that manufacturer to shield that light. Or the fact that, the vast majority of LEDs that are sold today, certainly every one of them that are sold as a commercial lighting product or a street lighting product, are all dimmable, inherently dimmable. So you got that capacity to do it. The question is, how do you implement it? How do you do that, right? Our philosophy with Kickapoo Valley Dark Sky Initiative and with Redshift Electric is to simply get as many examples installed in as many places as we can of what the optimal lighting would look like if everybody adopted it. In terms of energy use, in terms of light pollution, in terms of impact on humans and other species, and hope by doing that, and it's happened thus far actually, to say, I like it better.